Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says a ceasefire with Hamas won't happen until hostages are released. He also says Israel will not allow fuel into Gaza as hospitals run low. For more on the humanitarian crisis and the risk of a broader regional conflict, let's bring in Trita Parsi. He is Executive Vice President of the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
What do you make of Israel's current refusal to pause its offensive without the release of hostages?
Well, I think, frankly, that the consideration of releasing the hostage in the way that it's formulated is a bit disingenuous. It's been very clear from the very beginning in the UN resolution that the United States vetoed, as well as other statements by UN officials, that a ceasefire and the release of the hostages would come together. About 10 days into the conflict, Hamas indicated publicly that it would release all the hostages if there was a ceasefire. So this sounds more like an excuse as a way of trying to shift the blame. Reality is that the Netanyahu government is not agreeing to a ceasefire because of the pressure that the U.S. supposedly has put on the Netanyahu government has been so insignificant that there is no reason for him to actually feel pressured.
Is the administration striking the right balance between supporting Israel and advocating for the Palestinian people?
The administration is not advocating for the Palestinian people. There is no such balance to be struck because the United States, under the Biden administration, as well as previous administrations, have made it very clear that it is on Israel's side. That's very clear from all of the messaging that has come from the administration. What we're seeing as of late, as the war crimes and the killing of civilians increase, the international pressure on the United States, the cost this is imposing on the US's standing in the world is increasing. And I think the administration is increasing some of its rhetoric in support of the Palestinians. But in terms of actually doing something, we have not seen anything of any particular significance so far. And I think it's important to recognize the cost this is having on the United States. The United States, on the issue of Gaza and a ceasefire in Gaza, is as isolated internationally as Russia is isolated on Ukraine. That is not a good position for the United States to be in.
The leader of Hezbollah spoke out Friday criticizing Israel and the United States, but he stopped short of announcing full engagement in the war. What's stopping him?
Well, I don't think Hezbollah wants a war. No, I don't think Israel wants a war with Hezbollah either, or the Iranians or others. The question has never been whether any one of these other actors desire a war. I think it's quite clear none of them do, including, of course, the United States. The question is whether they will feel compelled to get drawn into the war, or if a mistake will happen, a miscalculation that will spark a much larger war. They may not start with Hezbollah. We've seen that the Houthis in Yemen have been shooting rockets and missiles at Israel. It may come from a militia in Syria or in Iraq. The bottom line is that this is an extremely tense situation with a very significant risk for escalation. That escalation very likely would drag the United States into the war. That's why I think it is so important to push for de-escalation, not just because of humanitarian considerations, but also in order to avoid a larger war that will drag the United States into it.
You've written extensively about U.S. relations with Iran. Can you assess the current state of that relationship and the role Iran may be playing in the war?
U.S.-Iran relations are in a very dire situation, and they have been for quite some time now since the Trump administration pulled out of the JCPOA. What happened a couple of weeks before the October 7th attacks against Israel was that the Iranians and the American side have come to some form of an understanding in which both sides were de-escalating the situation in the Middle East. And there, of course, was a prisoner exchange as well. So neither the U.S. nor Iran wants further escalation of the situation. They both needed that de-escalation. Much of that has now been blown away. The U.S. is moving more troops to the region, and the Iranians may also end up getting dragged into this fighting. So we're in a very, very dire situation that requires far greater efforts on all sides to avoid that type of escalation. And that includes, in my view, far greater pressure from the U.S. side on Israel for some form of a ceasefire to avoid that escalation.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your expertise and analysis.
Thank you for having me.